This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be on a boat and we're going to be going onto the beaches and trying to land ho. And once we're there, we'll be going through the hinterlands trying to raid and get some money. Today we're talking about a two-player game called Hengist. This is from Lookout Games and made for the United States. 2 players, 20 minutes, really quick, similar to that feel and quickness of, say, Patchwork that came out from them a couple years ago. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. In Hengist, you are one of 2 colors, and you're trying to come down to villages to raid and to get coins, and whoever's going to have the most coins at the end is going to win. At the beginning of the game, you start with some cards, 3 cards, and these are going to help you get down through different things through the colors of your cards. Now, notice that the boat is in this spot. Over the course of time, the boat will go into different spots and then eventually go off, and we'll show you what happens there. So on your turn, essentially, you can move each of your raiders once. If you're in the boat, you can move a raider to the beach for free without paying a card. So maybe that guy, the blue guy, that's all he wanted to do this turn. And maybe the red guy moves one of his here. And let's say it's the blue guy's turn again, and he wants to get to here, which is called the hinterlands. He would have to play a blue card. So if he has a card that he wants to play, there's actually 3 ways for him to get here. One is he could play a blue card that matches that, and then he would move his guy to this spot. A second way he could go there is, instead of playing this card, he may have had a card that had multiple things on it. So it could be blue or green in this case. So in this case, he could have used that to go there. There's also these Explorer cards. These can be used in 3 different ways. One of the things you can do with this is use it as a wild. He could have gotten rid of this to move from here to there. I'll show you what those other 2 ways of using that card is later. So he's here. This is the hinterlands. Now all 3 of these are considered sort of be in the same spot. So even if I'm on this spot here, if I wanted to move over to the next spot, I could just use a green card and go over here. It doesn't matter. These are all sort of considered in the same spot. Now the blue guy is going to want to try to get down here and raid some of these for coins, but he hasn't seen this yet. And you can basically spend cards to go down and see this. But you have to play them at the same time. So again, on your turn, you're getting 1 action. And then you're also going to be drawing cards at the end of each of your turn. At the end of each of your turn, you're going to draw 2 cards automatically, and then 1 card for every person in the hinterlands. So at this point, if it was the end of his turn, he would have drawn 3 cards, 2 plus 1. So once his turn again, he's going to try to go down here. And let's say he does this. He throws down this and uses it for the gray, and he throws down this and uses it for the yellow. Discards these, gray and yellow. He comes down here. Now he would secretly look at this. He would not show the opponent. Essentially, let's see, this would go like this. Now, we would look to see where this goes. This orangey reddish comes all around here, and he would grab this. Now remember, this is secret. He's looking at it, and he's also kind of saying, okay, if I want to get the 7, I'm going to come down the green next time. So he would look at it, he would basically put it back, and then he would put this here with his color up. These are double-sided, they're blue one side, red the other. So now he can look at this tile anytime he wants. If later on the red person comes down and maybe raids something, now that both players have seen it, then it just goes up like this so that people can see where things are going. Now, after you raid it, you get that, and you just go back to the hinterlands. And then if that was my turn again, I draw 2 cards plus 1 because there's 1 guy there. That's pretty much how the game works in general. I mentioned this boat and moving the boat, and I also mentioned some of these Explorer cards can be used as wild and some other things. Anytime this card's used for any reason, the boat then moves 1 spot bay to the right. And let's say someone else played 1. It'd go here, and so on and so forth. At some point, now that these guys are here, they're obviously going to be moving on different beaches, but let's say at some point, this guy goes off the board. In this case, this one here, these guys would be lost. They're gone. This would flip over like this. It's double-sided. It would eventually come here. All these would sort of slide down. You keep all these in the same spots, and then essentially you would put a new one here, and so this would go here. And this continues. Every time this goes off, you take this furthest board, you flip it over, you move it over, you put new stuff, and anybody that was on it gets lost. Now the second thing you can do with this card is when you play it on your turn, you can basically bring a guy back onto the boat. And this game would continue until this boat kind of goes off the edge and we bring a board on 4 times, because essentially that's going to be basically the 12th Explorer card would have been used. That's it. And at the end of that, you count up all of the money that you've got, and the one who has the most is the winner. Well, there is Hengist. Now, anytime I see a 2-player game from Lookout Games coming through Mayfair, I always take a second look at it. After Patchwork came out, you can't sleep on anything else they've done, so I always take a look at this. Also, designer pedigree, Uwe Rosenberg. You're like, okay, this has got to be good. Unfortunately, it was not good. This game, there's not a lot there, especially from a designer that has done such great things. This seems like, it just seemed weird that it was designed by him. It seems like there was this like germ of an idea. I'd be like, hey, you go down and if you play these cards, you can see where it goes and the other player can't see it yet. And that little like germ of an idea was cool, but it was the only cool thing and the only thing I enjoyed about the game. And then pretty soon that player saw it anyway and it wasn't that big of a deal. I feel like this game was like half done or maybe not fully developed or something. It felt like it was missing quite a bit to be like a full game. It was boring. You're just drawing these cards, trying to get the right cards. You're trying not to lose your guys. I don't know. It was lackluster. It was very uninspiring. It didn't make me want to keep coming back to it again and again. There's so many good quick 2-player games out there, and I'm just surprised that this was designed by him. It just doesn't feel like him. So I can't recommend the game. It was very lucky. It was pulling the right cards. It was, I don't know, it just was not enjoyable. I wish it was. I wish I could say more, but I really can't. It really wasn't a very enjoyable game, and I would recommend not playing this. I mean, if it's down and you're really into it, then try it. But I haven't met anybody that's liked the game yet, and no one I played it with did either, and I played it with a bunch of people. So a little too light, a little too lucky, a little not there, and just an idea that I don't feel like it was fully developed, and that's Hengist.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.